describe the character you voice in the film?
I play Teddy. He's a customer at the restaurant, as well as maybe Bob's friend.
The voice I play in the film is Linda Belcher, the matriarch. And she's there to keep everybody positive and happy, and she's supportive.
And I play Bob, the patriarch to Linda's matriarch.
I play Tina Belcher, who is the 13-year-old girl, the oldest daughter of the family, who is a little more reserved than some of the other family members, but at the same time going through puberty, so dealing with a lot.
Kristen?
Hello, my name is Kristen Schaal, and I play Louise, the youngest member of the Belcher family, a child, a female child.
My name is Eugene, and I play Gene. He's an 11-year-old boy who loves music and joking around and food and pop culture and whimsy.
You just described the whole world.
Wow. Yep.
So with that said, Eugene, I'm going to start with you on the next one.
Great.
In what ways, if any, did the experience of working on the film differ from working on the TV series?
In what ways did working on the film differ from working on the TV show? Well, for the film, I always dressed as a rabbit.
I dressed as a rabbit.
You dressed as a rabbit. What people often wonder, what is the difference between making the TV show and voicing for the movie? And for the movie, we went into a studio, and there was a Zoom with a lot of people, and there was a voice director who would help you physically act things out so that you really brought it that much more to life for the big screen. But otherwise, it was also very similar, where we are the characters and we've done them for years, and so we're working with the same people that we've worked with for a very long time, who are lovely.
The difference in the experiences of recording for a TV show versus a movie weren't that big, because both the movie and the TV show are done with the level of quality and expertise that are just perfect.
Recording for the movie was very similar to recording for the TV show, to the point where it wasn't really until I actually saw a screening of the movie that it really dawned on me, like, oh wow, this is like such a bigger thing, and I realized why the writers and producers had spent so much more time on it, and animators, than the show. But for doing a voiceover, we're just talking into a microphone.
The difference between performing for the TV show and the movie, well, we had to record them both during the pandemic. So I did the TV show in my apartment, and I recorded the movie originally. Yeah, so I used to have a small apartment, and I recorded the movie in my mansion. So, because I wanted it to feel more
bigger, right?
Feel bigger.
Yeah.
The difference between filming the TV show and the movie was it was during COVID, and I thought we were all going to die. But we did not. And we made it, and now we have this great movie.
Yeah. The difference between the TV show and the movie? With the movie, there were a lot more moments for my character, Teddy, that were cinematic. And I tried to remember that on May 27th, people would be watching that character and the rest of the Belchers and never lose sight of it for a second. Well, yeah.
Shake it up here. Dan, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
It's pretty shaky.
Yeah.
What do you think are the reasons for the show's enduring popularity?
The show has been on the air for 12 years now, I think. Right? Is that 12 seasons? But it's been on for a long time. Way more successful than any of us would have dreamed. I think a big part of the popularity is just that we have the same writers we've always had. There's no turnover. They all seem to have such a great time, and they have such a good sense of like writing characters how people really talk, and so they really just created, and there's 6 of them, and each of them, for a different person, is someone that they can relate to on such a deep level.
Oh, why does the show have such an enduring popularity? Because people really connect with the characters, and there's a lot of love behind the making of the show, and I think that comes across.
Why do I think fans connect to the characters on Bob's Burgers? I think they're very good at picking out very awkward, real moments that we don't really talk about out loud in real life, but writers and comics are very keen on picking up on, and I think they're all tied into, each character has their own special kind of quirkiness, and it's fun to watch, and I think people can relate to that.
Well, I think the reason why we've been able to continue with the show and get a lot of love and support from our fans is because the show is relatable, accessible, and honest.
Why do fans love Bob's Burgers? Me. I mean, my performance, my role in it. It's.
You are the titular character. Yeah,
That's true.
It's a force.
It's a tsunami of voice.
Yeah.
Nobody is disagreeing, which is weird. Like,
I thought everybody was
you're
going
right.
to say stop.
No.
No, it's like
I like
I
it.
never thought of
Yeah.
it that way, but I think it is all because of Jon Benjamin.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and specifically the H.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The H part does
a lot of the.
That's where the
it's
gusto.
that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good voice.
It's the-
Is it surprising that this voice is coming out of this body,
Yeah.
or does it make sense?
I know.
The sexiest rabbi in America.
What,
Just kidding.
if anything, should moviegoers who aren't familiar with the series be aware of before seeing the film?
What should moviegoers be aware of before seeing the film?
Subject to seizures.
It's,
No, just kidding. A lot of colors, a lot of flashing lights.
They should know that they're going to see a movie about a family that is idiosyncratic and loves each other, and there is a mystery, and there is some singing, and that it's a lot of fun.
Anybody else want to jump in on that one?
I think
It's the first 2D animation film from Disney in a long time, and I know Loren and everyone just put so much love into it. The animation, it's going to be really fun to watch. It's big, and it's way bigger than the TV show. And they wanted to make a movie, not a TV show, with this. So I think that it's going to really just be really fun to watch.
I think people should expect, know that there's going to be jet fighters, dog fights, men, testosterone,
Volleyball, lots of volleyball games.
war
lots
games.
of
Lady Gaga
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
There's the Lady Gaga Bob's Burgers song that.
So what do you hope audiences will take away from the film?
I hope that audiences, whether they've seen the show or not, will take away from this film that this is a family that will stay together through the greatest challenges, and even though day to day they may feel like there's a lot that they're lacking, like they have everything that's important that they need in the important moments.
I hope they went on a fun ride, a musical ride, an adventure, that they loved the characters even more, that they had fun, that they went in groups and made it festive, and they kind of took their minds off of what's going on in the world today, and just have some fun and relax for a little while.
Yes,
Yes.
It's just an escape. This
Yes.
movie is just a fun escape.
Yes.
We're not curing cancer.
You're not gonna
okay?
drive home and think, "Oh my gosh, all the mistakes of my life."
Well,
Yeah.
I do. Whenever any movie I see, I always have a quiet ride home in the car, but not this time.
Please give a brief synopsis of the film.
I would describe the movie as a mystery, a musical, an action adventure, and a comedy. And I would say every fan should go see it, but also everyone in the world.
Oh, me too. I would say another thing that we tried to do with the movie was have each character face a serious identity crisis, like what makes them them, and then they're not sure how they feel about that anymore. So each character is kind of the hero of the movie in their eyes. They all think they're the hero of the movie, and they all go through a pretty big emotional journey.
Yeah, I'd say the movie it's about the Belchers on a big adventure that's still at home, close to home, and it's as big as we could make while still staying within the show, and that's without giving anything else away. That's it.
What were the biggest challenges in creating a film from the TV series?
Adapting a movie from a TV series is something that you should only do if you love movies. If you are making your TV show and you just love episodic television and movies don't interest you that much, then I wouldn't recommend this. This is a game to be played for people who love both and who really want to, when you're doing a TV show, to do the best TV show you can do, and when you're making the movie, to really make it a movie. And we had zero experience doing this, but a lot of enthusiasm for the form. We really like movies, and so we were game.
So, what's the most difficult?
Adapting, how to adapt.
The
Challenge of adapting.
Yeah. Do you want to answer?
I mean, I would say when we were adapting the show into a movie, we wanted everyone to be happy with it. We wanted us to be happy with it. We wanted the fans who have stuck with us to be happy with it, and we wanted to bring in new people that had never seen the show and still could be tickled by it. So it was a balance of like everything that we and hopefully the fans love about the show, but yeah, fresh eyes, and it still speaks to people. And luckily, like we our characters help us with that. It's all pretty and we do that with every episode. We should be able to come in on the show and have never seen it before and enjoy it. So we had good like building materials, and I hope it worked.
I think a big challenge of making this movie was just making sure that fans would be happy to go pay for a movie ticket to see it on the big screen. So that was at the forefront of our mind from the start, was we wanted this to be a big screen event and different from what people see at home on TV. And also importantly, we wanted to, and what we've been really looking forward to is for fans to be able to see this in a crowd amongst other, because it's a show we might have millions of viewers on Sundays, but it's only in groups of 3 or 4 or 5, and so this is so we always had that in mind, that this would be an opportunity to have hundreds of people watching it together in a group. And so that was just a challenge, is just to make sure we made it worthwhile to have it on the big screen.
What do you think are the reasons for the show's enduring popularity?
It's hard to say, and it makes us nervous to analyze the reasons for the show's longevity, because you don't want to look too closely at that one. That's a very lucky break we caught, and not every show is as lucky. We were always true to these characters. We knew who they were right from the beginning, and we tried to do character-driven comedy, and so I think you can't help but simply say the characters connected. The audiences felt some kinship or fondness towards one or all of the characters, and you wanted to see them again. You wanted to see them go through the paces of another episode, or you just wanted to hear a turn of phrase, the way they said something. And that's character-driven storytelling. And it's, it's really scary to start because no one knows those characters, and you're just like a person at a party trying to be funny and hoping everyone laughs, and it doesn't always work. But once you've got enough people who know your characters on a week-to-week basis on a TV show, it can be quite a relationship, and we're really lucky to have built on that for this long, and we just appreciate that the fans were there, that this is what they wanted to take into their homes.
I think maybe another reason the show has lasted so long is that the cast, the family cast, and Larry Murphy are so joyful to be around, and you just want to spend time with them. And I also think that when we're breaking stories, we use a lot of real life stories. We mix a lot of our real lives in here, and so it's actually a lot of our little pieces of our soul in this show. And I think maybe it's just, hopefully people are out there and they're like, oh, it's, I've gone through that or whatever, and it connects with people in that way, and so it keeps the show, the humanity of the show can keep going and not feel stale.
Yeah, and I think obviously a big part of the longevity of the characters, and the audience is relating to them. But I also think, and to these two who sort of developed the show, the simplicity of the story of this struggling family with a business, family workplace comedy. And in this little town it's just something where just so many stories can come out of it. And as it's built through the seasons, we've got the school and the Wonder Wharf and then so many of these great secondary characters that it's always fresh, and you can just keep bringing other characters in too, and they're always coming back, and so it's just a very large canvas basically that you can just keep going, and so hopefully we can keep making stories.
Yeah, it's also fair to say, I think, just really quickly to add to that, there's a particular kind of optimism that the characters express routinely through, not so much in words, but just in their actions. They seem to face life with a kind of I don't know, something that I think people appreciate, and I think that's probably in there too. I think maybe it's to the extent that it's a little bit of a comfort show, I suspect its optimism is part of what's comforting.
What, if anything, should moviegoers who aren't familiar with the series be aware of before seeing the film?
You don't need to know anything to go see this movie. Let me tell you, as Nora said recently, your girlfriend's going to ask you to go and you haven't seen the movie and you're afraid. You're thinking, I don't know anything about it. Doesn't matter. Or your kids are going to want to go and you haven't seen the series. Doesn't matter. You're going to be fine. You don't need to know anything. We designed it that way. We don't even want you to try to do homework. Just go. Just go and tell us if we were right. Afterwards, call us.
I think if we've done a good job, people don't need to know anything going into it. I am comforted by the fact that we have this cast. So I'm always talking about the cast, and I feel like you can just fall right in with this cast, and you're like, I will spend 90 minutes with these people because they're so, they're just delightful to be around, ideally.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything, if you haven't seen the series, you're gonna pick up everything you need to know in the first 5 minutes. It's about a family running a burger joint on the east coast of the US, and pretty much if you get that in the first 5 minutes, and then you're fine.
What do you hope audiences will take away from the film?
I hope personally that audiences really take away from the film what's really going on. There's a huge action adventure and there are big stakes, but really what we're doing is telling the story of a family, in particular of a marriage, and I hope there are folks out there who recognize their own struggle in what this family's going through. Not the life and death stuff and the chases and all that, but really this family that's facing the possibility that they might lose their restaurant. That's happening right now. Obviously, we all know it's happening even more than it already was happening all the time. And I guess I hope that if there's some Bob out there who recognizes themselves in Bob, that they also recognize their Linda, and are able to see that those of us that glom on to someone else, whether you get married and have a family or whether you're just together for a while, there's almost always a reason, and there's almost always something that they allow you to do that you wouldn't have been able to do yourself. So that's one of the things, not to get too treacly, but I hope that somebody is sitting in the theater watching this and they turn to the person next to them and they say, oh, this is a little bit, that would be nice. That would make me feel good.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah, I don't think I can follow that.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
you.